For the past several weeks, our Airstream has been sitting in Costa Rica while we were out of the country. Now, before we build a platform for it to be parked on, it's currently out in the open, exposed to the elements. And the longer it sat, the more we got worried about damage from weather, insects, and anything else in the jungle. But we knew that we had to leave for the summer to head back to Canada. If you've ever experienced a rainy season in a tropical country, it literally rains for hours every day. It makes the jungle green, but our 45-year-old Airstream might have some issues. Our fingers were crossed that we didn't have any mold, but I should have crossed more fingers.
Today's been a hard day. It's just been a hard day.
Soon we're building a structure for it to be parked under, so it never gets rained on again. But for the time being, we're battling the elements. Out of concern for our Airstream stuck in rainy season, I booked a last-minute flight to Costa Rica to check in on the Airstream and our vehicle. Our land is high up in the mountains, and if our car doesn't turn on, I've got more problems ahead. The whole flight, I was nervous with anticipation of the coming 5 days. I'll be living in the Airstream while fixing any issues. Car's still there. Step one. I flew to Costa Rica from Canada for only 5 days to just check in on our Airstream. She's been here for a month and a half during rainy season. What I just found on the Airstream. That's fun. At first glance, everything seemed to be good inside. But I have my work cut out for me. Next step is to see if the car battery still works. It hasn't been on in like a couple months. Oh, it doesn't look like it's working. I was anticipating this coming home. I didn't disconnect the cables of the battery when we left. There was just no time. There were so many things that were going on and we just left and went to Canada. Now I learned my lesson. Hopefully I don't need a new battery. My trip is going to be a lot harder if I can't get this car started right now. I really, really hope the Airstream isn't full of mold. I had this little dehumidifier going in here to suck out any moisture, and it looks like it worked because this is all liquid. My trip is either going to be, I walk in the Airstream full of mold and mice and who knows what else, and my 5 days is going to be chaos. Or I walk in, and there's no issues, and I just do some tidying up. I eat some pizza, I go under a waterfall, and have a good time. Really hoping for the latter. It's absolute chaos. The car did not start. We tried to charge it, and it would not charge. Look at my hands. My hands like covered in grease from trying to remove the battery, and it looks like it's starting to rain, and inside Luna is not looking good. The next morning I woke up to sunshine and the sounds of the jungle around me. It reminded me why we did this, why we're moving here. I walked around the community and could finally see the vision start to come to life. Houses were being built. This house right here is being built entirely of bamboo. The garden was erupting with edible produce. I could finally see the community building called The Hive, which is the largest bamboo structure in Costa Rica. The pool was finally done, and hopefully I'll get to go on a swim while I'm here. The community areas are coming together. I've only seen them in renders online, and now I can finally see them in person. The vision of the community is to be as eco-friendly as possible, which involves being at one with nature. Although I have a ton of work to do, I really want to make an effort to enjoy the pool and the gardens while I'm here. I'm so thankful to the taxi driver, Alan. He stayed with me for hours last night, helping me with the car. Then in the morning, he came early, took me to go buy a new battery, and now I can start working on the Airstream. I can go get food, I can buy water, I can start a very busy next 4 days. Kristen and I were very concerned about mold on the inside, especially wood. Wood gets hit hard, and this Airstream has a lot of wood. Let's go inside. Welcome inside. This fan has been a lifesaver. I bought that recently and set it up, but let me turn that off while I'm filming right now. When I walked into the Airstream, there was a tiny layer of green mold on the wood here. Now the wood is protected with like a natural beeswax sealant, but maybe it wasn't enough. There was mold on all the horizontal wood surfaces. So I've just been like going with vinegar and cleaning it all, and I bought like a ton of these. Now I have like, I don't know, 15 of those all around, but this is the situation. I have a fan going, hooked up to my generator. I got my generator fixed. This is what I'm seeing. See that mold? It's like a green mold. Oh, and there's bugs. Great. So I'm just separating all the wood, and I'm gonna clean this pile of wood. But yeah, sleeping in the back, not ideal in rainy season. We need shelters ASAP. Thankfully it was easily wiped away. I just sprayed some vinegar and baking soda and used paper towel, and more extreme parts I used like a little scrubber. It all came off. There's some like baking soda that I can still see in between the cracks here, and I don't have a strong vacuum, and I want to vacuum all this stuff out before I apply another layer of the wax sealant. So I'm gonna have to wait to do that and just hope that there's no damage done to the wood while we're gone. I don't think so. I think I did a really good job. The sun's shining right now. This fan has been running all night, and I open the doors, open the windows with screens, and the humidity level is dropping. It was at 75% the whole time, so now it's dropping. And this is my sleeping situation right now. So I sleep on that side of the bed, and then my stuff goes on this side of the bed. The sleeps have been wonderful. I'm literally the only person sleeping in Alegria right now. I have this place to myself. Like at night, it's only me. There's a security guard that patrols around, but I'm the only one living here. When I turn off the lights at night, it's pitch black. Pitch black. I cannot see a thing. And the sounds are phenomenal. I just open up this back window and I listen to the birds and the crickets. There's birds that chirp at night. It's pretty awesome. Oh, but I do wish our AC worked. I do not know why it's not working. I think it's something with our batteries or our switch. Our switch is making like a clicking sound. It's like click, 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 click. Like it's turning on and off. It's switching on and off. I don't really understand, and I can't figure it out. It's never done this before. I'm so thankful that our mattress has no issues or mold or anything. Like this is a mold-proof mattress. It's like an all-natural mattress, but wow, I am impressed. I was worried about this mattress. This fan up here was leaking. Well, it had been leaking for like a year now, and we knew it was leaking. So I went on the roof, which is not easy to do on an Airstream. There's only certain places that you can step on the ribs of the Airstream. And then ripped off the old caulk, which was horrible. Like I could literally wipe it away with a finger. So obviously that's where the leak was coming from. And recaulked it. So hopefully it stops leaking now. Kai's room. And it looks pretty good. Aside from one thing. Look how nasty and moldy this is. This is Kai's seat. She used to put this on like the table and then could sit in it. I'm hoping that it's salvageable. I'm hoping we can give it a good wash. I can't wait for this to be over and we actually have a structure that this Airstream is going on, and we won't have to deal with the rain forever. Forever. Like this is the last drop of rain this Airstream might feel. My number one goal here is to eliminate moisture. Moisture is a killer to fabrics and wood. So when I leave in a few days, the system keeps running. But the problem is, the only electricity we have right now is off our solar panels. And with most of the skies covered in clouds these months, incoming solar energy is limited. So I have to figure out how to continuously suck out moisture from the Airstream while I'm gone, only using power from the sun. I have this dehumidifier hooked up. Now before, this dehumidifier was hooked up to a timer, but into AC, right here. Not DC, which is like a cigarette outlet, right? That's run off DC. In the back there, I have just a little converter from DC to AC and a timer. And on the timer, I can set how long I want the dehumidifier to go on. So it's on for 4 hours a day right now, and I've been testing it, and it works. Looks like this is working. So I have this hooked up here and into here, so that at least 4 hours every day this is sucking out moisture. And then there's these, which are tubs that you don't have to plug in, and they have some sort of little pebble things that suck out all the moisture, and they're pretty good. Like when I came in here, we had maybe 6 of those set up, and it sucked out like 3 liters of water from the air in here. Crazy. So I bought a bunch more to scatter around the Airstream. When I showed up, it was at like 80% humidity, and I got it down to like 50, but right now it's like gonna rain, so it went up a bit. Hopefully all these systems to suck out moisture help. We have solar panels on the roof, but they're not very strong. I've been running our generator for like 4 to 6 hours a day just to get our batteries charged up. That way I could charge my laptop, I could charge my phone using like a fast charge, I could turn on the fans, I could do more in the Airstream because the batteries were like near dead when I showed up. The first night I got here, I didn't have food, had 1 bottle of water, I didn't have a working vehicle. You can't walk to anything here. And I'm fighting the rain this whole time. I can only work from 7 a.m. to like 3 p.m. outside, and then I have to rush indoors because of the rain every day. One thing I forgot to film was the dehumidifier only has a 1 liter tank that fills up with water every few days here. So in order to keep it draining, I drilled a few holes in the plastic tank so that the water would drip out into our sink, which then drains into our 300 liter gray tank under the Airstream. Okay, I'm on my way to the airport, and I'm gonna leave the Airstream. It's gonna be here for at least another month, and I'm nervous about what state it's gonna be in when that happens, but I'm pretty confident in what I did. Honestly, I think by me coming here to Costa Rica, I might have saved the Airstream. So I'm grateful that I came. The damage actually wasn't that bad. It just took a lot of cleaning, but it wasn't that bad. Hopefully when we come back to Costa Rica, Airstream is good.